Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in to Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about the newest album from Gorillaz, Song Machine, Volume 1. So this is the latest full-length album from the virtual band Gorillaz. You know who they are by now. And since their return, a lot of their material has actually kind of been hit or miss, in my opinion. There were a lot of good standout tracks on their comeback record, Humans, but as far as like their last LP, The Know Now, it didn't really do much for me. So I was sort of hesitant to go into a new Gorillaz project, seeing how this is an extremely collaborative heavy record once again. Actually, their most collab heavy record so far, as Damon invites on one or two guests on every track on here. And I was kind of wondering, like, what would that do with Gorillaz' sound? Would he take elements from each of these artists and try to work them into that world? Or would this thing just stylistically kind of be all over the place? But this album is actually pretty cohesive sounding, while also exploring some new territory. You got appearances on here from Robert Smith of The Cure, Peter Hook of New Order, JPEG Mafia, Slow Tie, Beck, Elton John, St. Vincent, and a whole mess more. And I really like how there's a mix of, like, you know, all-time great talent, but also a lot of new up-and-coming artists as well. I mean, it just kind of speaks to the overall reach of Gorillaz as a band, uniting like all different types of genres and music listeners. I was actually lucky enough to catch them when they toured for Humans in Boston, and that was like my first time seeing them live, and I mean, it was just one of the most fun concert experiences ever. I mean, everybody was just dancing, having a good time, hugging random people. I mean, you know, it was one of those moments that I'll remember for a very long time. And as far as this new album goes, I'll just get right to it. In my opinion, I mean, it's pretty damn good front to back. It's a little bit less quirky than the old days of the band, and it's not nearly as like grandiose in its presentation as some of the stuff that may have landed on Plastic Beach. Instead, Damon hits you on here with a variety of tracks that explore a lot of different moods overall, going from like extremely elated to a bit more forlorn, all while having a really fun and colorful instrumental palette along the way. I mean, there are some tracks on here that are just like undeniably fun and upbeat and just great to listen to. Like the track Momentary Bliss that features Slow Tie and Slaves. I mean, Slow Tie just works himself into the Gorillaz world so extremely well with his flow and his accents. I love the guitars on this track too and how deep fried they sound at times. There's Chalk Tablet Towers that features St. Vincent, which is just another absolute bop in my opinion. I mean, Damon's vocal lines on the verses too are just extremely catchy and immediate, with just like an irresistible hook on it as well. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite Gorillaz tracks ever, actually. Désolé is another standout jam on here, in my opinion, mainly for that absolutely viral bass line that kicks it off, which is complemented quite nicely by the really punchy drums that ring through just like so clear. The Valley of the Pagans that features Beck is another really infectious bass line on this record, and I love how vibrant the synths are on this track, and those drums, once again, just like punch right through the mix, and they sound so good. I mean, it's tracks like these that they're just like so much fun to listen to, and it's like what Gorillaz does best. MLS is another sweet little jam that's right towards the end of the record that features the punk band Chai and JPEG Mafia. There's this little synth line in there that I absolutely love. I mean, it's irresistible. There are some tracks on here, though, that are a bit more forlorn, like the opening cut with Robert Smith of The Cure, as you might have expected, and also Aries that features Peter Hook and Georgia, and Friday the 13th was another track on here that I enjoyed quite a bit. There's a really great vocal appearance on this track from Octavian, but there's also this really awesome, like, subterranean bass that's in there that really makes the track feel like it's floating in the ocean or something. It's really fluid. Now, there are also just a couple tracks on here that just pale in comparison to others, in my opinion, like The Lost Chord, Pink Phantom, Simplicity, and With Love to an Ex. And although I do think the closing track is pretty decent, it, again, just isn't really as memorable as the rest and kind of becomes a little bit more of a missed opportunity to close the record out with a bang. But overall, I mean, I thought this was a really great Gorillaz album and their best one since Plastic Beach. Tons of fun, great features, everything just sounds so crisp and clear, and I'll be interested to see what they do for a follow-up on this one, as it's labeled as Volume 1, so who knows, maybe they can recreate this magic once again, but for now, I'm just enjoying the hell out of this one. And with that being said, I'm feeling an 8.5 over here on Song Machine. Now, there are a ton of different presses out there of this on on vinyl. There are a couple deluxe box sets, one that came with a lot of colorful 7 inches with all the instrumentals. There was another box set that has the same alternate artwork with the double LP and a CD. You have an orange indie exclusive, a blue Amazon exclusive, and a standard black. And then Europe has a bunch of different presses. So I'm gonna have links down below if you guys wanna grab some of those. And if you listen to Song Machine, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and share. And if you want more content from me, hit that subscribe button. Peace.